The major news in the Menendez brothers case. The Los Angeles District Attorney has recommended the brothers should be resentenced. They're currently serving life in prison for the 1989 murders of their parents. We're going to talk to their lawyer in a moment, but first, our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is in L.A. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. For supporters of the brothers, this was a moment decades in the making. And in that room, when the DA made that announcement that he's calling for immediate parole for the brothers, there was an audible gasp. One of the family members saying, "Oh, wow." But the DA acknowledging to me that he knows this is controversial and that a lot of the opposition comes from within his own office.
This morning, the Menendez brothers one step closer to freedom. Prosecutors recommending a resentencing for the men for the 1989 murder of their parents.
We're going to recommend to the court that the life without the possibility of parole be removed.
The decision will go to a judge who will make a final ruling about Eric and Lyle's fate.
Was there one piece of evidence that came to light that got you and was one of the deciding factors in your decision?
Well, there were many, right? I mean, look, they were in prison for 35 years and they had no hopes of ever getting out. And yet they went on to not only do things to better themselves, but they spent a lot of time working and helping other prisoners.
New evidence prompting the DA to re-examine the case, including sexual abuse allegations by a former member of the boy band Menudo, who says the brother's father, Jose, raped him in the 1980s. In addition, a newly discovered letter that Eric wrote to his cousin described his father's alleged abuse months before the murders.
What do you tell people in your own office who say these two young men clearly premeditated this murder?
We're not letting them off. Okay, first of all, I have to be very clear. Those were brutal murders. They were premeditated, and that's why they got life without the possibility.
But you are recommending that they be released essentially immediately.
I am recommending that they be released because I believe that the people that they were is not the same people that we're seeing 35 years later.
Eric and Lyle, 18 and 21 at the time, admitted buying shotguns and blasting 16 rounds at their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in their Beverly Hills home. Their first trial, a hung jury, the second ending with them sentenced to life without parole. The brothers' lawyer now declaring a stunning victory.
All of these family members will uniformly ask one thing, which is, bring them home, bring them home.
Long before the new interest in this case, fueled by a social media push on TikTok, a new television series, and a documentary.
Were you scared?
Very.
Members of the Menendez family were pleading for the brothers' release.
The truth is, Lyle and Eric were failed by the very people who should have protected them.
But Kitty's 90-year-old brother, Milton, disagrees, releasing a statement Thursday saying the evidence remains overwhelmingly clear. The punishment fits the heinous crime.
So what happens next? The DA tells me it could be 30 to 45 days before a judge gets the case and can make a ruling. Then it'll have to go before a parole board. They could take a number of weeks to decide. And then it's possible that Governor Gavin Newsom could also weigh in. So it could be months before the brothers are released.